I made a short video about this book a while back and I wanted to bring it back to my channel. This is a historical fiction. It's by Sarah Marsh and it's called A Sign of Her Own. It follows a fictional deaf character who is a pupil of Alexander Bell during the time when he was trying to teach deaf children to speak using an idea, a theory called visible speech. And our character is called Ellen, and she and other deaf children were there to learn this visible speech because of society's hatred, for want of a better word, I mean, that is a fair word to use, of sign language. The society at the time did not want anyone who was deaf speaking sign language. They wanted them to lip read and, to use things like this visible speech. So we follow this fictional heroine when she's grown up, and she's received a letter that Alexander Bell wants her to stand up for what he was doing and kind of present her experience in a good way. And we see all the things that was happening during her childhood and now that she's an adult in a time where people still aren't great with sign language, etc., including her fiance. He prefers to use writing. He does know some sign language, but only the alphabet, which really isn't quite good enough. The reason why I've chosen to bring it back to my channel right now is actually because this was my rabbit's most favourite book. She absolutely loved me reading this book. And I can see why, because the prose is absolutely wonderful. What Sarah Marsh does is really focus in on pronunciations, onomatopoeias, how words sound, that sort of thing. And my rabbit absolutely loved it. She much preferred this book than, say, Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice, Bun Mum had far too much fun reading Pride and Prejudice, and the dialogue just did not work for my rabbit. But I need to talk about this book by itself because it's not really related to my rabbit in any other context but me. This historical fiction is stunning. Sarah Marsh's use of language is just absolutely amazing, bar none. She uses speech marks, or she did use speech marks in interesting places to kind of denote different beliefs about speech and things like that in the context of using regular spoken English and using British Sign Language and American Sign Language, because I think the character is originally American. It was like a year or more since I read this book. I can't quite remember her actual nationality, but she lives in Britain for a lot of the time as an adult. And so you've got sign languages in this book. You've got written English in this book. You've got spoken English in this book. You have got lip reading in this book. It is absolutely wonderful. And it absolutely is a book that I just love coming back to time and time again. If you haven't read it, I do highly recommend it.